Hello everybody, my name is Vasko. Welcome to the channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you're new here, take a look around. If you like the videos, please subscribe. Definitely working hard to grow this channel. So today's gonna be fun. We are doing a little Photoshop tutorial and we're gonna be looking at frequency separation and how you can use it to remove the background lights on this image. And that's right, you can use frequency separation for a lot more than just skin editing. And that's something we're gonna be exploring today. And after the video, I will show you where you can download frequency separation preset for free. So yeah, if you're into this kind of thing and you want to learn how to use frequency separation, stick around because that's what today's all about. Roll the intro. All right, let's get started. So we have this beautiful photo of Irina Fit, and she is a personal trainer and wellness coach, wellness person, inspirer of wellness, I guess. She's got a pretty cool Instagram, and yeah, she hired this guy here to shoot some photos of her for her Instagram content and for her new website. So this is one of the photos we shot. If you want to see more photos from our photo shoot, you can check the link below. There's a link to the blog post with some more content and stuff like that. So if you're interested in that, link down below. Yeah, so we did this photo shoot, got this beautiful shot. I had to get the lights nice and close to get this nice effect, and we created this nice edge light around her body as she jumped through the air. And she's super happy about this, so that's cool. As a photographer, you always love it when your clients are happy. So now we have to edit the lights out of the background, and there's different ways to do it, and I just want to do it with frequency separation today so we can show you guys how to do that, because it's a handy little skill to have. And speaking of frequency separation, I'm going to show you how to get a free frequency separation action script that you can plug into your Photoshop, the same one I'm using here today. So we'll talk about that after the video, so stick around for that. But for now, let's get into this edit. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what frequency separation is, I'm going to give you a quick little rundown right now. For those of you who do know what it is and want to skip this part, there's going to be time codes down below so you can just skip to the edit. So let's start with the frequency separation. So here is the action script. We're just going to run that quickly. And what it does is separates the tones from the texture. So right now we're looking at this photo and you can see it's just the tones. It looks defocused, it looks blurry, and that's just because it's the color tones. There are no textures here. Now what we can do is we can turn off the textures or tones and turn on the textures, and here are the textures. So the image is kind of like split in half, and that's what makes it easy to remove these lights. All right, so yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, it's a little more complicated than that if you want to like get into the specifics of it, but that's basically frequency separation. It's really handy for cleaning up skin. It allows you to clean up skin nicely in such a way that it looks natural. People always want to look natural. They don't want to look over Photoshop. So it's a good trick to have in your bag of tricks as an editor or a photographer. So let's get into this. Let's start the edit. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is delete this frequency separation layer because there's a few things we got to do to prep it. I'm going to duplicate the layer first, and here you can see a nice hole in my wall because I was moving my table around and accidentally rammed it into the wall. So we're going to get rid of that. Now the thing I want to do here is try and get rid of any textures on the wall before I run the frequency separation. So like this spot here, we'll get rid of that. This spot here, we're going to get rid of that. So like these spots, just gonna get rid of them quickly. All right, so this is my wall. It's the one behind me here. And I use it for photo shoots, and the models are always leaning on it, putting their feet on it. I don't know, all this stuff. So it's all gunked up with model residue. If you're a photographer and you run a studio or have a studio, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Every 6 months or so, you always have to paint your white walls white again because they get covered in model crud or client crud or whatever you want to call it. The worst is when the fitness competitions roll through town and all the fitness models want their photos done, because they all pose and they lean up against the wall, and there's literally like a streak of orange booty marks from all the spray tan right across my wall. If you're a fitness photographer, you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? So this looks good. This looks good. Okay, so now let's get rid of the lights using frequency separation. Now, if we look at this, we can see that we have, we have a light streak. Whoops. We have a light streak here, and then the lights themselves. And then we have all this gunk here on the wall. And we're gonna get rid of all of that, and it'll be a nice clean background. Now we're ready for frequency separation, and I have it set up here as an action. So I just click the action and it goes, and here we go. So let's start with the textures, or sorry, the tones. So what we want to do is get rid of the lights and kind of blend them in the background. Now, when you use frequency separation on skin, you use the mixer brush. And here's the mixer brush, and you can see my settings here. I have wet 100%, load 12%, mix 50%, and what's this one? Flow 40%. And if you push, well, you're basically grabbing this tone here and pushing it, right? So we can sort of duplicate Irina too. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna push this dark tone into the light to get rid of it, and this can get repetitive and take some time. So we're just gonna take the clone stamp tool here, and we're just gonna start clone stamping these colors here like this. All right, so that's good enough. Now we're gonna go over here, and we're just gonna get rid of this. So you want to pay attention to the tones in the background and try and match them up as good as possible, but you don't have to be super precise here. We're just sort of roughing it in, sort of like when you build a house, you build like the studs and the stuff first, you roughen the electrical, and then you finesse it. So that's what we're doing. We're just roughing it in right now, and then we are going to finesse it. Okay, so now we're going back to the mixer brush, hit B on the keyboard, and what we're gonna do is kind of blend all these tones together to create a smooth vignette like we had before, as if the light wasn't even there. Oh yeah, it's just that easy. Okay, now let's move to the other side. And same process, we're just pushing these tones around until we get the desired effect. And I don't know what the heck that was on my screen right there. Some kind of glitch. All right, here we go, here we go. Super easy, looking good. Now you can also zoom out to get a better idea. See, the curve here isn't the best, so let's curve this better. Okay, we got the nice curve going. And then down here, I'll get rid of that. So now I'm going to change my wetness to 50%. So now it's going to be a little harder to push around the different tones, and we're going to get rid of these blemishes here on the wall. Smudgies. Let's get rid of these model smudgies. Okay. So what I'm looking to do at this point is just smooth it out till I can't see it anymore, and maintain this sort of this curvature of this vignette that exists here. Went over the leg a little too much. Okay, you don't want to paint over the body at all or smooth the tones over the body. You certainly can if you want. If you want to create this effect, you can, but we're not going for that right here, so we're not going to do that. Okay. Almost done. So if you actually have a studio and you have a wall, a psych wall, or just a wall that you shoot on that gets mucked up all the time, this technique is going to come in really handy for you for sure. It's a lot easier than using the clone stamp tool to get rid of the tones, that's for sure. You get a nice smooth wall in the background. Okay, so now we're going to turn the textures on. And you can see it's looking good. It's looking good. A lot cleaner than it was before. There's before and after. So the wall's already looking like it was freshly painted. Oh yeah. There's a dark spot there. Let's get rid of that. So back to the brush. And then we have to remember, I saw a little thread here on the back of her tights. So we're gonna have to get rid of that too. We'll come back for that after. And you can also do that. You can get rid of that thread with frequency separation. I guess let's try it. Let's try it. We could do it. You just have to, what did I just do? What's the brush size? Brush size. So what we have to do to get rid of it in frequency separate. Oh, I somehow switched brushes. Okay, back to mixer brush. So we're just gonna get the thread out of there by blending over it, and then we go to the texture layer, and if we copy the texture, it disappears. So if we turn on the tones underneath, that didn't look so good. So let's take this and we'll copy the texture from further out here. Huh. Okay, let's turn it on. I'm trying to be a pro star and do it without looking, but apparently we gotta look. There we go. So that is gone. And it's basically the same process now for the lights. So since the lights are simply textures now without any colors underneath, we can just take the clone stamp tool. We're gonna take these textures and let's take a harder edge. I don't think we need such a soft edge. Hardness 91, okay. And there we go, simple as that. Get rid of the textures and the tones underneath are still there. We're replacing the texture of the light with the texture of the wall. All right. What I do is after I'm done with the frequency separation, it's all in a folder like this that you can turn off and on. Let's turn the layers below on. It's all like this, so you can turn it off and on. And what I do with the folder afterward is I hit Control E, and it just merges it down into its own layer. So it compresses the whole folder and outputs it as a layer. So now this is the layer here with the frequency separation. Let's fit this to the screen, and we're going to do a little before and after. There's before, there's after, before, after. All right, and let's take a look at this dirty wall, this dirty model wall. So you can see how it really cleaned that up. And if you do real estate photography and you're shooting a new construction and there's some, whatever on the wall because the house isn't finished, you can use this technique to make the walls look nicer. Or if you're you got photos of a house you're trying to sell and the family had kids and they messed up the walls, you can do that too. Now let me show you a little more of an advanced technique with this trick. If we look here at Irina's left foot, you can see how there's a bit of a dark shadow behind it. Let me zoom in for you guys. So you can see how the wall is light here and then it gets dark, and then there's the foot and it's dark and then it's light, so it looks weird. So let's fix that. So we're gonna merge everything down, and then we're gonna get rid of the foot and then paint it back. That's the technique. So what we're gonna do is duplicate the layer, and we're just gonna get rid of Irina's foot. She's probably gonna watch this video and be like, Vasko, what are you doing? What are you doing to my foot? But this is how we get rid of these shadows behind the foot here. So let's just get rid of this. And then this part here, we'll blend it, but more or less we'll cut that part off afterwards. So now we're gonna run frequency separation again. And we are going to take the mixer brush again. And we're just gonna smooth out this area that would have been behind Irina's foot. All right, so now the tones look good. Put the textures back. And now we're clicking on the frequency separation layer, holding Control, pressing E, merging it down. So now it's its own separate layer. And this is the layer that was underneath. So this is the frequency separation cleaned up layer. This is the layer underneath that we copied it from, so we don't need that anymore. We're gonna get rid of it. Now we have the layer with Irina's foot. So now we're gonna take the frequency separation layer, we're gonna put it underneath the layer with the foot, and now what we can do is mask it. So we're gonna create a mask. We're gonna zoom in here. And then what we wanna do is go to the regular brush, not the mixer brush. And we're gonna select the black brush. And what are we at, 100%? Okay, that's good. And we're just gonna paint it in. So I'll show you the mask here, so it makes more sense to you. Let's change the hardness of the brush, 51%, okay. So there's different ways to do this. You can use the lasso tool if you want. I'm just gonna do it quickly with the brush and switch over to the tablet because it's a little easier with the tablet. And if you notice, when I'm using my tablet, I'm not like going all over the place. I use my tablet in mouse mode. So it's, all the work happens in one place. There's less hand travel all over the place. And I find that to be a lot easier. Okay, so now we're just gonna quickly cut around the foot here. You can, if you do this, you can do it, a lot cleaner. I'm just gonna do it nice and quick. I'll turn off the mask. Oh, it looks like we have to blend it around here too. So I just changed everything to 30% here, the brush strength. Okay. So now we put her leg back into the frame, and you can see that dark area behind here has disappeared. So now you have a nice even tone behind the body. And if you want, you could even do that with the whole body. You could you could remove the whole body, fix the whole background, and then mask it back in, but that's just a little too much work for this situation. So here we go. This is a before and after now. So this is the before, this is the after, before, after. And like I said, these photos will be on the blog post linked down below. So if you want to take a look at them, you can. And that's it. All right, and that brings us to the end of this video. Hopefully you enjoyed that quick little tutorial on how to use frequency separation to remove lights. It's a handy trick to have. And if you're a real estate photographer, removing blemishes and things off of walls and cleaning up all that stuff is definitely handy for you. So with that being said, let's talk about this frequency separation action that I'll be giving away for free. I'm developing my website. In specific, I'm developing the store on my website. I want to have a digital download section, and I'm just building that right now. It'll be ready by the time this video drops on YouTube. And if you go there and you go to digital downloads, you'll see frequency separation, and I'm going to give this action away for free. So if you want it, go and grab it, install it in your Photoshop, and you can use it too with just a one-click action. It'll copy your whole, all your layers into one, and then create the frequency separation. It'll all be inside that one folder, nice and neat. So when you're done, you can either keep it in the folder, or you can compress it like I do into one solid layer, and then you can edit that layer. So it's up to you. If you have any questions on how to use frequency separation, leave it in the comments down below. Or if you download the action and you're having some trouble with whatever it is you're trying to clean up using frequency separation, leave your comments down below and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. And yeah, that's it. Go and download it. It's a free action. You can add it to your repertoire. And yeah, that's it. There'll be there'll be a lot more actions and presets coming into the digital downloads on my website. So if you're into that kind of thing, subscribe to the channel, because as I do them, or set them up, I will be making videos about it. I've been working as a professional photographer since 2005, so I've got an extensive library of actions and presets that I created myself, and I'll be sharing those through my website for you guys. So yeah, check it out. And that's it. This video is now over. Peace out. Thanks for watching. Like I said, if you like this kind of stuff, I'll be doing more Photoshop tutorials, Premiere Pro tutorials, Lightroom tutorials. I'll even take you on some behind the scenes for some photo shoots, so we can create the photo from photo and setting up the lighting to Lightroom to Photoshop, and we can go through that whole process together, and that'll be fun too. So yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button down below, and that is it. Peace out. See you later. Have a good one.